Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Nioh 2. Last time we got our dual guardian spirits finally. What that also means is that we unlocked 2 additional soul core attunement slots. So we go from having 2 yokai abilities at our disposal to a maximum of 4 across our 2 guardian spirits. So we are going to be switching regions today, starting the next main mission up, and we're going to focus a little bit more on the hatchets and what they bring to the table. With each success, Hideyoshi's reputation grew greater, yet for all his small victories, he was still a bit player in a much larger landscape, forced to lead the horses of his masters around by the bit.
Niohの兵隊大義である。今宵は世へ。わしは稲葉山の名を岐阜に改め、新たな拠点とし天下取りに乗り出す。
さすがは我が殿。おい、そうやって。おい。はは。であればこれを機に我らにも新たな名乗りをお許しください。
シャシャリでよって二のほどをわきまえ。
藤吉郎の吉、秀千代の秀で義秀、2人で一つの名を
許す。ただし名は秀吉とせよ。2人で一つの名とは古今例がない。他に類を見ぬ働きがお主ら2人であればできよう。まさに仁王のようにな。
信長様は天下取りの第一歩として畿内の完全掌握を狙ってる。しかしこれを阻む越前の朝倉を討たねば西へは進めん。勇んで越前に向かったはいいが、遠征中に強報が届いてな。お市様が腰入れして同盟を結んだ近江の浅井が織田を裏切ったようだ。しかし苦境こそ好機。秀吉の名をさらに轟かせるためのな。
Alright, let's just jump right into our next main mission, A Way Out. Kanegasaki, close to the borders of Echizen and Omi provinces, sits in a treacherous terrain of dense forests and steep mountains. To fend off the enemies pressing from the southwest, the Asakura clan established a base there, making the area much fought over. The constant battling has devastated the hills and fields, and the area has long been devoid of any human habitation. Now only the trails of animals passing through this region suggest any hint of life. Oh, this... Oh, I just remembered which one this level is. This level has one of my favorite bosses.
よし、時は十分稼げた。俺たちも逃げよう。こっちよ、ついてきて。
I was thinking about, during the cutscene, the amount of things that we can swap out on the fly. Like, we have multiple hotbars for items, we have multiple hotbars for our ranged and melee weapons, and now our yokai abilities and guardian spirits that we can switch out on the fly. Since I actually don't remember what I had put in this slot, but hey, we can throw a few gunpowder bombs in here. Did some rearranging while I was off screen.
無名殿は先に様子見に行かれました。私はここで藤吉郎殿と秀この先追ってもおりましょう。これ
Yeah, there's so much that's just at our fingertips now. And all because of these sleek little shoulder button modifiers and the combinations with the D-pad. It actually starts to feel a little bit like an MMO. It really does remind me of playing Final Fantasy XIV on consoles, and just how well designed that is around a controller, despite the complexity and in the sheer quantity of stuff. It takes a lot of planning and attentiveness to the user interface to make it feel this smooth, because there is so much potentially going on that this could very, very easily become overwhelming and, like, paralyzing, to the point where, like, you dread having to use the user interface. Instead, it feels so smooth. I definitely had that experience of feeling like my eyes were just glazing over for the first time when I laid eyes on that super busy Monster Hunter World interface. And I've heard older Monster Hunters have it even worse from a UI and user experience perspective. But this works out just so well. Ends up feeling like a very elegant set of solutions that you can have this much at your fingertips and not feel totally overwhelmed at all times. Also, let's see. On the top here, on my second hotbar, for my items, for consumables, top is a fire talisman, just a fire buff on the weapon. Right is a lightning talisman. Bottom is a newly picked up Onmyo magic tool called the Life Leech talisman. And you'll get to see the effects of that in a bit. And then on the left is the fire shot, which is a fire projectile. I think you can add even more hotbars on top of this. We want to take both of these out at the same time if possible. Ooh, how did he get through that? Was that a dodge, or did they just whiff? Yeah, he's not doing that twice. Now he's burning. We're getting everything we want out of this encounter. Ooh. Oh my god, that feels like such a good ability. It's not even the best things that the hatchets can do, or the best things that you can put skill points into for the hatchets, but it just feels like a really great button to hit. It's a fun button. And I am a fan of that. Also, I did get the upgrade for this that decreases the amount of charge time for the medium stance. And I think you... you either have to pick between that or larger range for throwing them. You can't have both of those abilities equipped at the same time, even though they're essentially passives. They are just buffs on your charge modifier. And coming up here... Oh, hello. I knew there was something around here. Coming up here, you see this big spotlight probing around the forest. We are going to deal with this enemy, just drag her out, pull her out of range of the spotlight. And then I'll show you how to deal with this problem in a more direct way than I think a lot of people think to when they're first going through this area. That tracking was not on point. I'm gonna be a little bit careful of that, so she doesn't have a chance to get that off. Now, if you get caught in the glare, enemies are going to aggro to you immediately, and it's very frantic. Instead of treating this like a stealth mission, though, you can just locate the source of the spotlight, which is this giant owl perched off in the distance. If you shoot him in the eye 3 times, it is usually enough to handle the problem, to get him to fly away at least. And on top of that, it'll also dissipate the Dark Realm for you, which in turn also staggers all the enemies, depletes their anima. Honestly, either way you choose to approach that situation, whether you go very carefully and slowly and kind of stealth through the spotlight, or if you just attack him, either way is valid. I think both approaches are also pretty fun. So next time we come across one of these sections, spoilers, there are going to be multiple in this level, we'll do things the other way and just see how much of a difference that makes. Shit. I didn't dodge through either one, so I got staggered, got winded. But we will be good. I didn't keep pulse on time there. You can see a little bit of the inexperience with the hatchet showing. That's what happens when you spend the entire LP just using the switchglaives almost exclusively. So the Life Leech Talisman, though, that is going to be really handy for us. Look how much we have gotten back just over the course of a couple of hits against a weaker, more frail enemy. When you apply the Life Leech Talisman, again, like so, it'll debuff the enemy for a really long time. And every time you hit a Life Leech Talisman debuffed enemy, you recover a fraction of the damage you did in health. So it's a really, really good sustain tool. It's actually one of my favorite talismans. The Sloth Talisman from Nioh 1 is back, by the way. I think it's heavily nerfed. I hope it is. Because it was so overpowered in Nioh 1 that I didn't even want to use it. It felt that unfair. Oh, I did get clipped by that last attack. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Ooh, that range, though. Okay, enough of that from you. Maybe not. So yeah, we now have a much greater suite of Onmyo magic tools. And my build is finally starting to develop a little more. Oh, and I've had some additional questions about the yokai's speech and how to unlock more of it. Double damn? Oh no, he used the double D word. asked why we went from being able to understand the weapons speech and some of the other yokai speech to being unable to understand it again recently. That's because it relates to a stat that's not very well documented called Astral Wisdom. And the way most people are going to get more of the Astral Wisdom stat is just by playing through the game and doing the missions, which reward a little bit each time. And then to get additional Astral Wisdom, you can do things like performing resting rites on purified soul cores. I've also heard, and I need additional confirmation on this because this could be completely wrong, I've heard that putting points into and using your shifting abilities also raises it. Not 100% sure on that. Like I said, it's not very well documented. At least right now. I do know some things in the shifting tree require additional Astral Wisdom. And then, in addition to that, yokai weapons have different levels of dialogue that you have to unlock over time. And, like, different difficulty levels corresponding to that Astral Wisdom. And each region requires a little bit more to understand the yokai in them, I believe. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. The particulars are not super well understood online, I guess. So it's a little bit hard to research this peculiar small little subsystem. Oh, Double Dam also asked if I had plans to do anything with Mortal Shell, which is a new Souls-like that recently came out. Real quick, that ladder just leads down to the other ladder, which in turn leads down to the short path back to the shrine. But we're not going to be needing to take advantage of that, I hope. Just want to run him out of stamina. I still have plenty of elixirs. Some of my buffs, I have a Fire Shot Talisman and a Life Leech left, so we'll be good to make it to the next shrine, which is not even that far off, to be honest. We don't have to go through another Dark Realm section or anything too arduous just yet. So Mortal Shell is a new Souls-like. It's kind of, I guess, in the vein of an Ashen or a Code Vein or something like that. Or if you want to go for the real dregs, like a Lords of the Fallen. I've been burned on a lot of these Souls-likes, especially the 3D ones. So I'm giving that some space for now. We want to deal with this guy before he summons too many allies to back him up, and then we can just really go to town on this guy with a snake hitting 3 times in cramped quarters. I'm going to play Mortal Shell on my own time. I've heard pretty good things about it, and its approach to, like, unique Souls-like systems, like doing its own thing. And to all the 3D ones, to all their credit, Nioh does a lot of its own stuff. Code Vein is quite unique. Ashen, the Surge, all of those have a lot of their own personality and a lot of their own systems that make them distinct. They just don't grab me. Like the sense of discoverability, the way they feel, and their stories don't really do that much for me. So, and the art design and environmental design, like a lot of this stuff that I love about From's games is just lacking. They usually have the gameplay down, except Lords of the Fallen, which is total garbage. But they're lacking in a lot of other ways that I don't just love Dark Souls or Sekiro or even Nioh, which is not a From game. I don't just love them for the combat. In the case of Nioh, the combat is a very big part of it and the systems, but Nioh, it's such a core competency that they just double down on and double down on and double down on and polish to hell and back that, like, yeah, Nioh can get away with, even if I hate the story and I hate a lot of other things, it can do a lot of work just on gameplay alone. But then you also have incredible enemy design and environmental art and really good levels on top of that. So even for Nioh, it's not just the gameplay that I love. I'm not sure if I'm going to love everything about Mortal Shell. So, I'm going to give that time and space. I'm going to play it at some point before the end of the year, just on my own. And I hope it really grabs me, I really do. And if it jumps out as being, like, particularly terrifically special, the way I find From's games to be, or Nioh and Nioh 2, I might do a video on them, or a series. But that's all for the future. Not too sure, and nothing is really written in stone just yet. And with that... Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Nope, that is a chasm. I do not want to fall into the crevice. I thought I was heading towards the shrine, but the shrine is actually on the other side of the fork over here, and I think that's going to be a good place to stop for today. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one, y'all.